20 interesting facts about remote jobs. Working remotely has a lot of advantages, but they're not very surprising. For instance, it seems reasonable that working from home may be better for the environment, and that a firm's expenses may be reduced by employing fewer employees in a conventional workplace. But is it worth it? What advantages are there in working remotely? And how are organizations receiving this new change? Stay tuned, because in today's video, we look at 20 interesting facts about remote jobs. Number 1. Remote employees tend to be older, between the ages of 40 and 60. Some people in the labor market hold the opinion that millennials are responsible for the rise in employee requests for work flexibility, especially in remote positions. However, according to recently released information from Flex Jobs and Global Workforce Analytics, half of the telecommuters are 45 years of age or older. Number 2. Remote employees are typically more educated. Undoubtedly, there are plenty of remote jobs available that don't demand a college degree. However, according to the information from the Global Workforce Analytic Report, telecommuters have a higher average level of education. An undergraduate degree minimum is held by about 53% of virtual employees, compared to 37% of non-telecommuters. Number 3. Workers who work remotely are more engaged. The myth that employees who work remotely are cut off from their coworkers and day-to-day operations of their firm has been substantially disproved. The truth is, research by Gallup and others has found a correlation between telecommuting and higher levels of employee engagement, especially when remote workers are provided with the proper training and communication tools. Number 4. Remote work is the fastest growing workforce option. According to the Global Workplace Analytics data, the majority of people rank telecommuting as their preferred job type, eclipsing workplace employment. Working remotely has expanded more quickly than any other workforce option, and judging from the high number of companies in need of remote employees, organizations have now started accepting the reality. Number 5. Employee productivity is increased by working remotely. Being physically close to a boss and coworkers does not ensure that the task will be done. On the contrary, office distractions frequently make work go more slowly. Only 7% of respondents to a Flex Job study from 2021 said they would be most effective when working in the office. Number 6. Remote employees make more money on average than office workers do. The evidence that working from home does not always result in a wage decrease has been building up for some time. New data from Flex Job study show that on the average, most telecommuters earn $4,000 more per year than typical workers. If you think that telecommuting jobs actually pay less, you might want to reevaluate your employment options. Number 7. Remote employees get a free laptop and around $2,000. Employees working from home enjoy perks and allowances from their employers that are essential for establishing a home office. Some companies provide their employees with a free laptop and around $2,000 to ensure that they have a good working environment at their workplace of choice. Number 8. Currently, 58.6% of American workers are employed remotely. More than half of Americans work remotely, at least occasionally, and 41% of those employees work entirely from home. This is a significant increase from the 17% of American workers who worked remotely months before the epidemic. Global Workplace Analytics figures show that 5.7 million U.S. workers do at least half of their work from home. Before the pandemic, remote and hybrid work patterns were becoming more popular, but COVID-19 brought about a global change that no one could have foreseen. Number 9. Remote employment is 2 times more common in small businesses. Small businesses are 2 times more likely to hire remote workers than corporations because they have greater flexibility, more constrained office space, and a more flexible mentality. Additionally, finding and hiring a new employee takes 33% less time in remote employment. Number 10. Nearly 9 out of 10 workers now anticipate working from home at least one day each week. According to the same Owl Labs poll, 80% of respondents anticipate working from home at least 3 days each week. Also, according to a study of 1,000 workers conducted by Bloomberg, 39% of those respondents would quit their jobs if their manager did not allow them to work remotely. Number 11. Since 2020, the number of video conference calls between persons has increased by 60%. Video conferencing has become the new normal, a phrase that may already be overused. Companies have been forced to research the finest software to maintain high levels of communication and production, as populations have dispersed all around the world. Number 12. 74% of businesses intend to switch entirely to remote employment at some point. Surprisingly, according to Gartner, out of that 74%, over 25% predict that at least 20% of their personnel will work remotely by 2024. Only 26% of respondents claimed that after COVID, all of their teams preferred to work in the office. Number 13. Employers save $11,000 on average for each half-time remote worker. According to data from a 2019 survey by Global Analytics, each half-time remote employee helped firms save an average of $11,000. And now, you might be wondering, what about hiring a remote worker full-time? According to estimates, every full-time remote employee saves the organization around $22,000 annually. Because of this, businesses have had to identify the appropriate software to maintain high levels of communication and efficiency as individuals shift to working remotely. Number 14. Working from home saves employees, on average, $4,000 to $6,000 annually. Remote workers are saving $4,000 annually, and in some cases $6,000 as a result of reduced costs for everything from lunches and coffee to gas and other work-related expenses. That's because commute time is now productivity time for remote workers. Number 15. Remote work eliminates approximately 600,000 automobiles responsible for greenhouse gas emissions. Working remotely helps the environment by reducing the pollution caused by commuting. According to research, 3.9 million people working from home at least half the time would result in a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions of up to 5%. Such an amount of decrease is equivalent to planting 91 million trees to offset the same levels of emissions. Number 16. If given flexible work alternatives, 80% of employees would be more devoted to their company. Remote employment helps both individuals and companies. It gives workers more flexible work alternatives and is a terrific method for firms to increase employee retention. The statistics make it clear that if they had the choice to work from home, 80% of employees would be more devoted. Number 17. When working remotely, women are 13% more likely than men to believe they are more productive. It's odd that women feel more productive when they work from home. According to statistics and trends related to remote work, 50% of female employees feel at their best while doing so. Only 7% of male employees, however, share this sentiment. Number 18. Eventually, everyone wants to work from home at some time in their lives. Many people are drawn to remote employment. It offers a variety of advantages, including a handy change of scenery and plenty of conveniences, particularly with regard to personal scheduling. People who telecommute receive benefits related to their health, work, and life balance. Generally speaking, this is the reason why flexible work from home employment is so well liked nowadays. Simply said, there are too many advantages to this form of business to disregard it. Moreover, nearly 95% of workers say they would advise telecommuting to their friends or family members for the same reasons they do it themselves. Number 19. Remote employees will make up 73% of all departments by 2028. Both employees and employers can profit from working remotely. This explains why it's been making tremendous strides in several areas. Although not all businesses use remote workers, experts are convinced that this practice will soon become popular. According to data and statistics on telecommuting, over 3/4 of all departments will likely have remote employees by 2028. Number 20. Remote employees experience less stress at work. Stress at work exists. Your physical and mental health may suffer as a result. Out of a list of 40 awful activities, going to work is thought to be the least appealing option. 52% of employees across a wide range of occupations reported feeling pressured at work. Let's be honest. Employees that are stressed out and uninterested in their work cannot perform well. Most of them just try to seem busy at work by pretending to be working. But it all changes when employees are allowed to work from home. Well, Working from home has several benefits, including a better work-life balance and time and money savings. Even while it is far from ideal, it offers advantages that businesses just cannot ignore any longer, particularly in these difficult economic times. So, how do you feel about working from home? And how likely are you to recommend remote jobs to your friends and family? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, go through the channel for more videos just like this. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye.